What's up, guys? Welcome to Bro Beats. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to layer your VSTs to make even better melodies. If you guys haven't subbed or turned post notifications on, make sure you do so because it does help the channel out a lot. Just hop right into it. So first things first, let's grab in a scale. The key does not matter. You can always transpose. So I'm going to just choose, let's choose an E minor. Let's close that, name it. All right, so sound selection. All right, now if you notice, a lot of these sounds sound very similar. Okay, that's kind of a cheat code if you're not really sure what's like how to go about sound selection. Just choose the sound you like, and then from there, just choose other sounds that sound similar. Now, when you make your melody, just spread the frequencies out, like, you know, lower frequencies, higher frequencies, so that it doesn't kind of sound super muddy and, you know, muffled and stuff. So that's kind of like a little kind of a cheat code there. So I'm gonna just show you these real quick. Custom sounds. I think I got a few ARPs in here too. And yeah, that's the same one. And then we got a flute. All right, so chords. Let's go ahead and make these chords. Now, this is the most important part. If you mess up in this part, your beat will be messed up. All right, any beats you make, these chords, all right, if you have chords, this is the most important part. If you mess this up, it's gonna be hard making your top melody, your bass, everything. So let's start on our root, and then I'm gonna drag it in. Instead of putting on the grid like this, I'm gonna drag it in, so create some bounce. All right, and to create a chord, skip every other note within the scale. The white notes would be within the scale, so skip this one, skip this one, and then we can even do another one. All right, and then we can go down here, skip that one, skip that one. And then same thing here, with that one, with that one. And I want that to be over here actually. Okay, and I'm gonna let that play out. Let's copy it over. And then all I'm gonna do is we could just add some notes here. So we could just put one here, or something like that, right? Or you could do that. Well, I already placed this, so I'm gonna just keep it there. Why not? All right, you see how those little notes will change the whole sound of this chord, even though it's the same thing. All right, so those are the chords, and let's move on to the next part. All right, so now we're gonna start on our bass line. So you just copy the lowest notes. Now, if you look, you can see it's the same exact thing. So what you can do is change like one of these longer notes. You could change that note to something else. And usually what I do for that is go down. So instead of like kind of using that same chord method where you go up, I would go down, right? So we can hold shift, click and drag it down. I might actually do it twice because I don't think, yeah, I can't really hear the bass in this instrument. So I'm gonna just pull them down out the way. And then what we can do, and actually, so you can see the notes. So I will go down, right? So if we go up, so we skip this one and kind of continue with the chord, you can use that G, and then we can go to the B, use that A. So these are the notes that I would kind of go for. Whichever one works for you. I think I want to go down. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete these top notes like that. So that's our bass line right here. And either one should work. It's just a preference thing at this point. So that's the bass line. And now we're gonna move on to the other part. All right, so now we're gonna do our low mids. So like somewhere in here. Now you could transpose this up so you can hear these, but the sound that I have, it doesn't really have, I kind of took out the bass with a filter, so you're not gonna hear it on this one. But what we could do is use our chords for this. So you could literally highlight the first two notes in your chords, right? Like this. You could copy it, and you could pull it down like this. All right, now you got notes that work, you know that work, and this will be good for a start. So I'm gonna shrink these down like this. And then I'll usually just offset them like right here. And this is for bounce. All right, this is so that you have a good rhythm. You can offset this one. And then let's see, do something like this. And then we go back to that E. and maybe even and let's see if that works. Okay, I like that. So let's move it over. And that was really simple. And make sure this is same. All right, you can see how I said earlier the chords are very important. Pretty much we haven't used our brain at all after we made our chords. All we're doing is literally looking up here and using notes we already put in. We're not going outside of this. All right, all of these notes are in here pretty much. Let me see, except the F sharp, but I mean we can take it out if it's really a problem. But all these notes, they're being used, and we just actually the F sharp is in there. So look, all these notes are actually being used here. So that's why I say your chords are very important. But that's gonna be it for our low mid. Now we're gonna move up to like this top area. All right, so now we're gonna do our mid highs, which would be like somewhere around here, like basically filling in these gaps. Now this is the part people struggle on. So an easy way, and let me zoom in a little bit more. So we can continue these chords up here. So basically skip that one, go to the next. Now what we do with this note is I usually offset it. Now what you can do is build up into it like this. So it's like, all right, or you can build down into it. Right now, this is a more sad type of melody, so I will probably go down into it. And if you already know a little bit of theory and just notice some patterns, you can tell that these two notes right here, these notes that have no space between them, they create like a sad vibe, or especially in the minor or just period. So knowing that, you can kind of use that to your advantage, and you can kind of already just place these notes. So if you see these notes somewhere, you can be like, okay, so I mean, we could just automatically use those. And from there, you could, I don't know, we could just place. And then start basic, probably do something like that. Now this is very basic, right? Anybody could do this, okay? And this is even doing too much. You could do something like this if you wanted to, but I just offset it for bounce. All right, and then play it. And let's just go into the B and see how that sounds. So what I want to do is like a roll here. So, and then what I'm gonna do is just drag it in. Kind of, it doesn't have to be perfect. Pull it like that, and then down here, I'm gonna just kind of roll it so it's not too much. Let's just see how that sounds. All right, now copy it over, and we can mimic the same thing on this side, but just modifications. Now, if you're uncomfortable doing modifications at this point, you don't have to, you know, just take your time, try to learn it. I'll try to learn how this stuff works. So, let's make a new one here. Pull it in, and I did that wrong. That should be good. Pull it in. I'm gonna just do that velocity thing down here. And then we could change these notes up. So we can use that B. And this is the part I'm talking about. I feel like kind of confused on why I'm doing this. This is just creativity, pretty much. It's just thinking outside the box stuff that I like to do. So you don't have to do this if you're not comfortable doing it, like I said. And then over here, we can just add another tone. Just put some there. Let's play it. All right, so it's gonna be it for the high, mid, or mid highs. Now we're gonna move on to the highs. All right, so this is the very last part that you need to do, and this is the highs. Now, up here, it's like you can really do anything, honestly, with the highs. You're just adding tones now. But again, just like we did our low mids, you could literally just take these notes here and you can just use these notes, these like first two notes in your chords. All right, so we can look at the E. We could just drag our E and G up. So let's go up here, make them a little bit smaller. And what we can do is maybe put our G like, okay. I like to turn these down a bit. I'm gonna go to the thirds grid and see if I can kind of get a different kind of sound. All right, and then if you're lost on where to go next, just remember, we got the G, F sharp, and the D right here, and then we got C, B, E. So you can choose any of those notes. All right. So I'm gonna actually put the D7 right here. Actually, all right, let's go back to our grid and put this right here. We just copy it over and we're finished. Here's the full melody. All right, so our melody is done. So now let's just go ahead and layer it. All right, so now we got the melody made. Now, this is the layering part. This is really, really easy. It's just preference. So let's go in here, and now you see everything is in its own little spot, right? So all you have to do, copy. I copy this, pull this on this one. Probably want to pull it up a little bit. Okay, go here. Let's see what else. Take our chords, probably put it on like one of these arps. All right, you don't want to mess with, don't delete this. Trust me, just keep this because it's going to come in handy later. Put our chords here. And then we can take these. And it's going to be hard to get this one. So let's just copy the whole thing, or actually, there we go. Let's copy that. All right, you're splitting up. You're giving each like part of the melody its own sound, which is going to make it sound very, very unique. And it's going to sound a lot better than the original. Okay, so we got that one in there. So let's go ahead and continue just copying these over, and we can go up here and just copy this last part like that. Boom. Now our bass. Can't forget about our bass line. Got our 808. Probably want to pull it up. Control up. And then let's play. Probably pull that. Let me actually. All right, and that's all you gotta do with the layering. And then for your hook or whatever that you want to put, all you have to do is turn the original one on. You see how much energy it has just by turning that back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the beat out. So let's just go ahead and go into that part. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish the beat out. I might speed up a few parts, any like tedious parts, but for the most part, I'm gonna just, real time it. So. All right, so now the drums are done. So here is the full beat, and I'll just play it without the top part first. So here we go. All right, so this is gonna be it for this video. Hopefully this was helpful. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.